Greetings class, Mr. Munir here with your SketchUp simple tutorial video of the day. Now, you should be working on your final project, and this video is intended to just help you with one aspect of your final project, and that aspect is 3D Warehouse. I've gotten some questions already on the 3D Warehouse and how to work with it, and so here it is. Now, the intention of this video is to be 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to try and go through things as quickly as possible because you can always rewind and replay. Now here's the deal. I'm going to allow skipping on this Edpuzzle, so feel free to skip through it. The idea is not for you to use a bunch of time watching videos, but to use your time just working on your project. So with that being said, feel free to skip through, but please do watch this video if you have any questions at all about the 3D Warehouse, because I think it's going to help you. So rather than spending a bunch of time talking, let's just get started. Now, first thing, you're going to need a mouse. If you don't have a mouse yet with one of these rolly wheel things, if you don't have that yet, yeah, this is going to be really hard for you. So get one and use it. Now, 3D Warehouse, how do we use it? Well, we go here to components. Okay, this menu bar on your right has got a lot of good stuff in it. So we go here to components. Depending upon what you're building, you're going to want to have different things, but it's really easy to use the 3D Warehouse. And so I'm just going to show you how to get things out of it and then how to manipulate them with the different tools. So let's say I am creating an office building, and in my office building, I want to have a desk, an office chair, and maybe a house plant or something like that. So I'm going to start with my desk. So I'm going to search desk, and I'm going to look for different things. I'm going to just move this over here so I can see everything. And the odd thing is that every time I search desk in SketchUp, it brings up different desks. So just be prepared to, if you find something, that it's not necessarily going to show up the next time that you look for it if you just use the exact same terminology. And I'm not 100% sure why that is, but put it this way, if you see something and you like it, just grab it the first time. Don't think that it's just going to be there if you search for it again. This is cool. I like this office desk. It's classy. So I'm going to choose this one. And now I want you to call your attention really quickly to these things here. It says 0.25 megabytes. That's a pretty small one. There are other ones that are much larger. This is 8.2 megabytes, so that's actually a really big file. So I don't want to use really big files if I can avoid it, because it ends up making my program run really slowly. So, don't use giant files if you can avoid it. The idea probably most of the time is to get something with less than a megabyte. Okay, now, so the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to show up here, and I can place it wherever I want to place it. Now, usually it's just going to be on the ground, which is usually how I want it to be. Now, so I'm just going to place this. I'm going to place it here for now. Okay, so whoops. Okay, so now that I've got that placed, I'm just going to click off of it to show. I can deselect it, I can reselect it, awesome. But I actually don't want it here. Let's say I put it a little bit in the wrong place. I can always go to my move tool, and I can move it to the left or there. And so if I want to lock it to the green axis, if I want to lock it to the green axis, I choose left. To the red axis, I do right. If I want to move it up and down, I hit up on my keyboard. So I want to actually just move it on the red axis because I just want to get it closer to the green axis. Sure, awesome. So I just moved it. That's just a nice hotkey. But now I want to rotate it, because let's say I actually want it not facing this direction, I want to face another direction. So I get to the top of my face, and then I clicked on my rotate tool here. Okay. And so this is my rotate tool, and I go ahead and click on the face, and then I want to hit it go until I lock to one of the red axis or the green axis, and you're going to see why. So now that I've got to the green axis, Now it's going to say, okay, all right, now as I'm rotating, it's going to say, okay, cool. It's going to lock. I want it to lock to the red axis because I actually want it to be parallel to the green axis. And there you go. And then you say, oh, wait a second. I actually rotated that the wrong way. I want it to be um, the other way around. So I go and notice that it locks. Boom, right to the red axis. Cool, that's how I want it. All right, and so now I see that I've got my desk facing the right way and I'm happy. All right, but now I don't want just a desk because that's silly. I want an office chair. Okay, so I'm gonna find a nice office chair that I like. This is cool. I like this one. Again, this one here is 3.4 megabytes. This one's 0.38 megabytes. You know, this might look cooler, but it's gonna up your file size for SketchUp, and it's gonna make it hard for you to rotate. If you have too many big files in your SketchUp, it's what's gonna end up happening is it's gonna get really glitchy, and it's gonna take a while just to do simple things, and you'll get frustrated. So don't bring in big files. That's just a word to the wise. Oh no, an error occurred while downloading this one. I have no idea why. Okay, that's fine. Um, let's try something else. Um, this one looks good. Let's see. Um, yeah, that's good. Being kind of picky right now. I want to have a nice chair. Sure, that one looks fine. Okay, so I'm downloading it and I insert it. And then notice here, if I do weird things, like I go here, like I can put it on top of the desk, and it's actually nice that it does that because it's gonna try to put it where it thinks you want it to put it. But I don't want it on top of the desk. I want it close and kind of pushed in. So, obviously there it doesn't make sense because that's like interfering with the desk. So I'm just gonna place it right where I want it. And then you'll notice like sometimes people do weird things. Okay, so this is actually not, and none of this stuff is made by the SketchUp company. These are things that are all made by just regular people, and they then import them and upload them into the 3D warehouse. And the cool thing is you can actually do that too. If you create something that you think is cool, you can upload it in the 3D warehouse, and then other people can use it. So you'll notice that this model, for whatever reason, has like all this empty space, and that's just weird because it should just be around this chair, but that's okay for now. Okay, sometimes that's not going to be okay. Sometimes you're going to notice weird things about models, and if you notice them, then just go ahead and choose something different. And if you do want to use something different, let's say I do, I'm going to get rid of that because that's just weird, and it's probably going to be glitchy if I do something with it. Okay, so now I've got this chair. Oh, that was weird. It just kind of came in without giving me the opportunity to move it. All right, well, now I want to move it. So I'm going to just Command Z. Oh, it did it again. That's weird. So this is kind of another glitchy one. Okay, but let's just go ahead and move this. I can always use the move tool. Um, SketchUp's pretty smart, so it's going to try to kind of know where it wants me to go. And notice I'm locking on the red and green axes. So when you see that green axis come up, it's like, yes, that's what I want. Okay, so I've got it pretty much where I want it. Um, that looks pretty good. And then scoot it in a little bit. Awesome. Okay, and then, I can look and see, it's still a little bit off, so I'm going to move it a little bit more. And notice it says, oh, on green axis. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So now I've got my desk, I've got my chair, I'm good to go, but now I want an office plant, let's say. Okay, so I want an office plant and I want to put it on my desk. Oh, not office plant like manufacturing plant. Let's just say house plant. Maybe that's gonna come up with something better. Okay. All right, let's use this one. Okay, that looks like a cool plant. And then I bring it in and I notice that it's a giant plant. All right, well, that's fun. I'm still going to put it on my desk, but as you can see, whoever made this plant either lives in a world where there's giant plants or like just messed up in the scale and the way that they designed their plant. So that's everything I'm going to use for the 3D warehouse. So I'm going to get rid of that for now, just so I can move my screen there. So that's not fun because I don't want a giant plant on my desk. That's like insane. So what I'm going to do is use what's called the scale tool, and I can just hit S on my keyboard, or I can go here to my scale tool. And what's going to happen is that's going to highlight the whole thing, and it's going to allow me to scale it however I want. So I'm going to go ahead and select a corner, and um, I want to try and keep it on the desk if I can. So I'm just going to select corners, and boom, and that's pretty good, but it's still too big. So yeah, that looks better, right? And just rotate around. Remember, it's like if you don't have a mouse at this point, you're going to be in trouble because it's just tough to do this without a mouse. And then I'm done. So I can click onto the mouse again, and there you go. And so I've used the 3D warehouse to do just some simple things, okay? Now remember, the 3D warehouse is not here to just make your entire project. The 3D warehouse is here for you to, add to your project. So if I handed this in, that would be an issue because I've not done anything with SketchUp other than just import files. But what this would be more appropriate with is if I had created like a cool, office space with a bunch of stuff that I made in SketchUp, and then I just wanted to add a desk and a chair and a plant into the space that I've already created. So 3D Warehouse is there to make your project better. It's not there to just be your entire project. Okay, so with that being said, that's it for this tutorial for now. I tried not to make it too long. Let's see, my time is 11 minutes. So like I said, I hope this was valuable to you. That's it. Until next time, enjoy your time with SketchUp, have fun with it, and enjoy engineering.